one way to avoid having your hair made fun of is to wear a hat. I keep wanting to get a haircut, but I keep putting it off. One reason why is it's so cold outside, and even a bad haircut with long hair keeps your head warmer than a short haircut. So I'm choosing bad style and warmth over stylish haircut and freezing. Okay, so I did a video recently about Bar None's contrarian call for gold. On January 5th, Bar None. Now I say like with respect to the person, you know, we're all just people on YouTube doing stuff. I'm just referring to calls he makes and not him as a person, the calls he makes. So he had said in that video that he thinks that gold's going to fall at the beginning of the year. And since he made that video, gold has rallied $100. That's pretty big. I mean, gold's rally from like, it's been like, it's actually been over $100 since its low of the year. But since he made that video, it's rallied $100. And that was like 2 weeks ago, right? The 5th, the 17th. $100 rally in gold in 2 weeks is a pretty good rally, right? So people who are like trading, sitting there and day trading with their keyboards, right? If they had got in on that gold action, they would have been pretty happy. So, I'm stalling. I'm in the middle of a gear. Can I find the right gear? Okay. I'll find any gear. Okay, so I found a gear, so the car's going to keep going. The video's going to keep going. So, yes, I don't think he intended to be a contrarian indicator, but he was. And will the rally keep going, or has it stopped? And at this data point, like, I don't have a definitive answer. Like, it wasn't like when he made that video about gold falling beginning of the year, that was like, aha, that was like something that I could work with, right? But right now, it's hard to say. He just did a video saying how he's all happy gold and silver, so that video could mark the end of the rally, or it might not, because no indicator is 100% sure. If there was any indicator in the world that was 100% sure, there would be people all over it, right? I mean, there are a lot of people on YouTube who follow us who've got some real money in our perspective, not real money in billionaire perspective, maybe, or maybe, I don't know. But there are people who watch my channel who trade for a living and who trade in large dollar amounts from our perspective, and they're watching these videos and they are looking for contrarian indicators, right? I'm sure that there's some people who watch it who keep track of all the things we say, and they look for the contrarian indicators. So if Bar None really was a contrarian indicator, there would be people following these videos who've got a spreadsheet who are saying, ah, now is the time to go long gold. Actually, I have no idea. If they were doing that, why would they tell us? Because then they would be giving away their secrets. So maybe there are people who are watching us who do have spreadsheets of everything that we say, and they say, what kind of contrarian indicator is Joe? What kind of contrarian indicator is Bar None? Every call I've got on a spreadsheet. Maybe they're out there doing that. Maybe they've got my calls and they say, aha, Joe is better than average. Maybe I'm going to trade on Joe's calls. See, I don't know. I'm just making stuff up because this is the realm of the internet, and people can just say whatever they want, and it's up to you to wade through the static. So speaking of internet and YouTube, right? So YouTube is a forum. It's just some big web page forum that people get on and they say stuff. And I've heard many times from several different people who are on YouTube saying that don't get your financial advice from YouTube. You know, don't listen to people on YouTube. Yet they themselves are on YouTube and they themselves are charging money for a service. So they're on YouTube. They got a YouTube channel. They want to charge you money. At the same time, they are saying, don't get your advice from YouTube. So basically they're saying is, don't get your advice from me, send me your money anyway. That's kind of the message that someone gets, because when you go on YouTube, it's just a forum. I mean, anybody can have a channel on forum. So I find that interesting. Is it's hypocrisy or is it just irony? I don't know. But I'm on YouTube. It's basically a tool. YouTube is a tool. It's a forum, right? It's like a big hammer, right? Is the hammer evil? Is a hammer evil? I got this hammer in my hand. Wait, I don't have a hammer, but I get this. Okay. Is this evil? Is this thing evil? I don't know. This is like YouTube. It's a thing, right? I guess it's what you make of it, right? How you use it. I'm sure you could hammer this into a deadly weapon. Or it could be, if you saw the movie, what is it, The Chronicles of Riddick, the cup itself was a deadly weapon he had used. I got a coin in here. The jingling makes it sound cooler, doesn't it? Okay, so, bar none brilliantly called this rally without realizing it. And, of course, here's another topic that gets thrown around, because Bitcoin is, as I read this, Bitcoin is under $200. I see a $199 and change, right? So, Bitcoin, something that gets thrown around on YouTube a lot, is a lot lower than remember when Bitcoin was worth more than an ounce of gold? I mean, and now Bitcoin's under 200. Wow, what a change. And I had read an article where someone who was not a fan of Bitcoin, and probably not a fan of libertarians, say that Bitcoins was a Ponzi scheme that enables libertarians to rip off other libertarians, because there are a lot of libertarians in Bitcoin, and there's a lot of libertarian sites that talk about Bitcoin, and they're saying Bitcoin is just a Ponzi scheme for libertarians to rip each other off. Now, that sounds like a harsh and mean comment, but if you look at what happened, I mean, there was a huge transfer of wealth between Bitcoin owners. So yeah, Bitcoin, I guess, was like a Ponzi scheme for people to rip each other off. Or another way to look at it is Bitcoin is just a trading mechanism, right? Bitcoin is like another kind of poker game. I guess solo markets are a kind of poker game. Well, that's their commentary. But of course, because I repeat their commentary, it becomes attached to me. And that's how stuff works, right? I mean, if I say, you know, if I repeat these harsh comments and then I try to say, oh, but I have no accountability to these comments, well, I'm not sure it works that way. Like someone says, I don't give advice, but the world's going to end advice over right now. But I don't give advice, and they pump fear at you saying, buy, silver's 49, buy. But I don't give advice. I mean, really? Is that how it works? I mean, you promote fear and say, oh, but I don't give advice, but I'm going to scare you to death so the world's going to end. But I don't give advice. I find that an interesting dichotomy. Because I got to use big words. Why? Because I went to college, right? So big words, right? So here's my final thought and opinion on the college. So companies hire college graduates because they want someone who can go through the gauntlet. When you work for a company, you got to run the gauntlet. They got their rules, they have their whatever, and you have to run the gauntlet. And people who go through college have demonstrated, yes, I can run the gauntlet. I don't believe it's like an intelligence test or whatever, but hey, it's, you know, can you run the gauntlet and play the politics? Well, you've already done something that involves that, so that, yeah, sort of. And it's also a reason to pay people less money. Because, like, if they're saying, okay, we pay college graduates more, what they're saying is that we'll pay everybody else less. So you can perceive it as an excuse to pay people less. I don't know. That's just a perception thing. People can perceive things. But I went through in 4 years. I ran the gauntlet. Like, it didn't make me, like, I don't think it made me smarter. And I learned some things, but, like, I learn more things now doing my own research. But, hey, I ran the gauntlet. And I accomplished that. So thanks for watching, and be well, bar none. Goodbye.